Welcome to Nuanced Beauty. This podcast is intended to be a spot where my husband Bill and I will capture some complex thoughts and challenge us to hold to our opinions loosely so that we can see the beauty in others and the beauty in ourselves. I want to challenge us to dive deeper into those everyday topics and those sticky topics that we might shy away from, or we might bulldoze over others with our opinions. Because I think there's wisdom in this idea that if we all thought exactly the same, there would be no need for anyone else. So let's have a conversation and let's get nuanced. Hi guys, welcome back to Nuanced Beauty. This is another coffee chat with Bill and Christina.
We're coffee chatting?
Yeah, we're coffee chatting.
We're both drinking tea.
Okay, so we're doing tea chat, but I already named the first one coffee chat, and so there's no turning back.
There is no turning back. Okay, what are we tea chatting about?
Well, I remember how we were talking about, and this is probably old news for a lot of folks, but I bet a lot of folks didn't even see it. There was this particular pizza delivery guy who got fired from his job because he was delivering pizza in a ritzy neighborhood, and he said something like $5
Sure
tips.
is a nice just want to say, sure is a nice house for a $5 tip.
Yeah, and then that video went viral, right? Or was it just big on Reddit?
I mean, what does it mean to be viral aside from big on Reddit / Twitter / Facebook, whatever?
Yeah. So
it made it to Fox News, so
there you go. So it made a round. And this kind of brought up for us the whole concept of tipping. And I think there's a thing recently about how Americans are tipping a lot these days because all of the people using the cube for their transactions. I go to a fast food restaurant, I go to a coffee shop, I go to I can't even think of something random where it asks me a smoothie, a drive-through smoothie place.
Oh
And it
yeah,
asks me if I want to tip.
it asks you to tip in the Sonic drive-through, which
There
in
you
fairness,
go.
the person does walk out to you, so.
Yeah, but in that but it's still fast food. Where do we draw the line on when it's appropriate to tip? And I feel like with this new form of transactions using the cube or whatever, we're being asked to tip for everything.
Well,
and for someone who has a guilty conscience or feels like they must tip because it's asking them to tip, it's really kind of I don't know, insulting.
Well, the issue that I've had with how I've witnessed this conversation go down around the interwebs is we're talking about this as a matter of courtesy, what is appropriate, what is the etiquette. That's what I was looking for. We're talking about this in terms of etiquette. I think we're all missing the point, which is wages for those lower income jobs have been so depressed for so long,
Right.
that you feel like you have to tip, and the people receiving the tips feel like they must receive those tips or else they are not making a living wage.
Yes, you must receive the tips in order to even make what's a reasonable amount.
Mm-hmm.
But so
so
you as
employers
customer,
have shed the responsibility of paying a living wage onto the customer by making these tip structures, and the legislation is in place that tipped workers are paid less than minimum wage because they need to make their tips. And
right.
I think that is codswallop.
It's already in the structure. Yes, if you are but that's where so yes, that's a crappy situation where that's not how it should work. Tipping should not be a requirement for you to make a sustainable amount for you to be an hourly worker.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been in a country or culture that didn't tip?
When we traveled to Europe, right? In Europe, I think in Spain and Italy, they don't tip.
In a number of countries. I'm asking if you specifically had that experience.
in Asia. Yeah, but I don't remember it standing out. Like I
I
just
had
remember,
something stand out.
yeah, I just
I went
remember it wasn't a line on the
to a
bill.
pub in Rochester, England, and I got a beer. Um, and I left a pound coin on the bar as I walked away. And the bartender is like, "Hey, you left your money here." And I said, "Oh no, that's a tip." I was like 19, and you can drink in England at 19, but I was also like not that comfortable being at a bar because I was 19. I'm like, "Oh, that's a tip," and he's like, "Nah, mate, that's your money. Take it." And it was like this weird. He was so like he was confused by what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
So this overwhelming pressure we have in the States is somewhat unique to the States.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and what it was originally, I think the original heart behind tipping was people going above and beyond in service industry jobs, like the service, like
Mm-hmm.
restaurants, hotels, but um and now it is like what used to be like I'm going to take care of you because you're taking care of me, and the like valet parker, my car matters a lot to me, and so I'm going to tip you for parking my car and taking care of my car. But now it's like it's just like it's leaked into all of these places, and it's become a standard requirement. And even furthermore, like you say, it's a legalized standard for what people make as a minimum wage.
Yeah, I think, and this is me putting on my tinfoil hat. I think this is by design. Like you like to point to the Square software being ubiquitous, and maybe, but I think like we're directed into this conversation as a discussion of etiquette, and it is a way for the employer class to
Pay
pay their.
less.
Yeah, I think it is,
Yeah.
and I think that's wrong.
Yeah. And if that wasn't acceptable, like, yeah, then, the ripple effect from there.
Hmm. But yeah, that guy, like, yeah, he was kind of a jerk on the video, but I have to have compassion for this like late 30s, early 40-year-old guy delivering pizzas. He's probably not doing well financially.
Right. And this is maybe a second or third job that is specifically like, oh my gosh, people said that I might make decent tips. So I'm
Yep.
doing this job to try and get back and like pay off college or whatever.
And he's probably leaving a family
Yes.
behind to on a Friday night deliver this pizza. And if he's seeing that $5 tip, thinking, is this worth, is
My
this
time
worth
and effort and away
what
from
I'm
my family.
sacrificing? And his
Yeah.
the anger is misplaced because it should be placed at the his employer, not at the
Mm-hmm.
customer. But I have empathy for the guy.
Right. Yeah, that is very valid. But yeah, I guess this clearly is not something that we will solve today here on the show, but we wanted to share with you our 2 cents on the topic. So, ah, yeah, that was good, right?
That's a pretty nice podcast for a 2 cent.
Yeah, give me your 2 cents.
Okay, I've reached the bottom of my teacup. So thanks, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and in the spirit of nuance, I hope you found something that you could agree with and disagree with and still choose to lean in. If you're liking the show, please follow us and share it with friends and leave a rating and review. Until next time.